Strength is a concept intrinsic to the core of Vagabond. Musashi grapples, struggles, and agonizes over becoming the strongest under the sun. It's a goal that isn't atypical of the medium, but Vagabond takes it in its own way. Musashi's journey in the series is turbulent, introspective. The story really delves into the spiritual meaning and strength, and all the strife that comes with pursuing it, all culminating in manga's equivalent of the fucking Mona Lisa, the farm arc. Help us. Please don't leave us. Please help us. Help us. Help. We're not as strong as you. Help us, Musashi. Please help. How can you so easily ask for help? How could you surrender yourself to anyone like that? That is the mindset of Musashi. He's a man that, although constantly engaging with thought that challenges his stature, is still someone who prides himself on his strength, his own might as an individual. But alas, when the sun sets on one of the final days of fall and the soil is firmly planted into the ground, even Musashi pleads for help from the earth. Now, he immediately takes us back, having a look of horror on his face, but still, this is a moment of vulnerability, of Musashi being defenseless. The village, he will starve without the ground's help. And his obvious shock from this subconscious thought, again, speaks to his pride as a warrior. He cannot allow himself to be weak, or at least weak enough to have asked for help, because that is who Musashi is, strong. And then the winter comes. We witness the village decay and shrivel up. Musashi's body has developed to a shell of his former self, disheveled and bony. Starvation has sent many to an early grave. People have lost the light in their eyes, and Musashi laments at his situation. Is this truly the place where he dies? Iori has lost his strength and hopelessly asks his sensei to stay with him. Musashi rushes out for help, only to realize that there's no one capable of it. Everywhere he goes, everyone he sees is exactly in the same situation, wallowing in their weakness. And so Musashi leaves. His inner demon spirit eggs him on, pushes him to be strong, to leave this desolate place and go back to fighting again. But he rejects that. Without arms, without legs, what would be left? What would I be? Before settling in the village, Musashi was in the care of this family living in the forest. He washed up on their front steps and they nursed him back to health. The husband, although apprehensive of his Ronin status, eventually sees past his violent image, describing him as a guilt-ridden criminal. His wife sees his softness, his work ethic, sees the way the kids interact with him, and describes him in the way he would never do himself, yet is the answer he arrives at his darkest moments. You're a kind man. And Musashi, despite his stubborn personality, despite his pride as a swordsman, despite his history as a bloodthirsty demon, surrenders himself, prostrates, and pleads for help. And alongside this panel, in some translation, there is text accompanying it. Just 6 words that I have been thinking about for the last 3 years. Inside Musashi, strength bends to kindness. Almost 300 chapters earlier, Musashi found himself in a similarly dire situation, yet the only thing he spouted was to kill him. The character development across this long journey is astounding. The Takuso there would have never prostrated himself like the Musashi of the present, wishing for death before ever asking for help. The word strength feels rigid, unwavering, a force that will never stand down for anything, making the word bend so unfitting, which is why it is actually perfect in context. He could have just left the village, leaving behind his humanity and embracing that strength inside of him, but he doesn't. To let one's ego go, to choose humbleness, humanity, and kindness over pride is the truth of strength. The strength within Musashi, the demon spirit which rises in anger, lashes out, and seeks those it deems as strong, succumbs and bends to soft, genuine, human compassion. As Takuan later says, as long as the only life you're concerned with is your own, life has no meaning. And that is precisely why Musashi giving up his pride in exchange for another is so significant. Because what is pride to the smiles of those given hope again? This chapter, these words, they signify the climax of maybe the greatest character arc ever laid out in manga, and it's why these 6 words are the most moving ever. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.